You're still watching Sunrise at Sea, just in time for your beauty, wellness, and lifestyle segment. My name is Shivan, and this morning we're going to be discussing a topic that is very dear to my heart. So for very many of us, for youth, teenagers, adults alike, I'm sure once in a while, you have felt the urge to end your life, or you have felt like life has lost meaning and you want to end it all, or you feel depressed, or you're going through a situation where not so many people understand what you're going through. And that is why this morning we're going to be breaking the aspect of suicidal tendencies. Very many people have come out to say, oh, she's suicidal, or he's suicidal, or he's thinking about taking his life or her life. And that is what we want to understand. How are you able to tell that you're slowly becoming suicidal, or how can you actually break the epidemic of its own? How can your family help you fight this epidemic? And a suicidal tendency is a term that people sometimes use to describe someone who may be at risk of committing suicide. Of course, I'm not an expert when it comes to this particular topic. However, it is very dear to my heart because several times I have met people that have wanted to end their life, and we have walked this journey with them. Joining me at the center of this conversation is a mental health specialist, and his name is Albert Elwa. Good morning, Albert, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Shivan. Good morning, viewers. Glad to be here.
Well, this morning we're going to be talking about suicidal tendencies. First of all, in your own capacity, in your own expertise, what is a suicidal tendency?
Suicidal tendency, that I would prefer to call suicidal ideations or suicidal thoughts. Basically, these are feelings of suicide, or basically the tendency for an individual to feel like they want to end their life because they're dealing with a certain situation in their lives. They're failing to deal with a certain situation in their lives. It's not a condition per se, but usually it's a symptom of an underlying condition.
Okay.
Yes.
So who is at risk of experiencing this sort of suicidal tendencies?
People with certain conditions, people battling certain conditions like depression,
Okay.
Schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, people that use substances, people suffering from substance use disorders, people with borderline personality disorders, and basically people undergoing certain challenges in life. You know, usually these tendencies are triggered off by failure to meet certain personal obligations, personal expectations, or societal expectations. For example, failing to attain certain academic grades. Some people get overwhelmed by this failure and are tempted to end it all. People who find themselves in financial turmoil, people that have made serious losses or are failing to make ends meet in life, tend to feel that life is worthless. So they're prone to that temptation to end it all. People in breakups, relationship breakups, people undergoing divorce, you know. So even people with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, you find somebody in a refugee camp, lost everything. They're being looked at with racial lenses, or they're feeling less human in a certain new community. So some people usually get tempted to end it all. So it depends, but suicidal ideations themselves do not just, or tendencies don't spark out of the blue. There's usually a trigger.
Okay. So what age group, if we're looking in terms of age, what age group is more prone to this kind of behavior?
It depends. It depends. One thing I neglected to add is that even exposure to certain graphic or sensationalized content of suicide can cause one to end it. And now this is usually with the young ones, teenagers, who are exposed to this kind of content on the internet. You know, several of them are lured to suicide on some of these chat rooms and things like that. So And then you look at who are the most traumatized age group. You see, it depends on what kind of trauma we're talking about here. So if you're talking about the age that is most prone, we're also going to look at the society. Because if you're going to Asia, you're going to look at it, you're going to look at the men. If you come into Africa, you're going to look at young people, most especially. And in other parts of Asia, it's also the women. So it depends on the geographical area.
So what are some of the signs that you can actually tell that someone may be at risk of committing suicide?
Okay. First of all, some people with suicidal ideations begin to indulge in risky behavior. Reckless drinking, reckless driving, increased drinking, increased use of drugs. They become withdrawn from the things that they used to enjoy. Once in a while, they drop comments of life is worthless. You know, they talk about, they exhibit shame, anger and irritability in certain situations. You know, there's something they're dealing with, but you're not understanding where the anger is coming from, why they're easily irritable. Other people begin to withdraw and seclude themselves. You know, when you see unusual behavior, others you'll notice the withdrawn behavior comes with feelings of sadness. You know, so in a sort of unusual behavior, others begin to give out their belongings. You know, others actually talk about it. They talk about ending it all. So when you hear some of these things and you see some of these unusual behavior, it is important that you must approach the individual and talk to them. Don't fear to ask.
So for someone who is watching us this morning and they're a parent who is coping with a child who is showing clear signs of wanting to take their life, or who is at risk of feeling the urge to end it all, what would you tell the parent this morning, or what best can they do to help them?
Number one, talk to the child and ask them outrightly if they are feeling suicidal, if they feel like harming themselves. Secondly, if the person is an adult, discuss getting help if the person is over 18. But you as a parent, if someone is under 18, seek professional help for this person. Remove dangerous objects from around them.
Isn't that stigmatizing in one way?
No, because if somebody is thinking of harming themselves, one of the first things you have to do is reduce the risk. So you take away the objects around the person's environment that they may use to harm themselves. Get help, and even when you call for help, stay with the person as the help arrives, or drive with the person to where they're supposed to get help. And even when the ideation ceases, the crisis has passed. Don't abandon the person. Continue to talk to the person, encourage them, be there for them.
How about the individual who is going through it first? For someone that, he's experiencing these signs and symptoms and they feel the urge to still, end their life, what would you tell them?
I would strongly advise them to talk to someone. Stop and think about them. There is always a purpose in life. There's always a purpose in life. Think before you act. Talk to somebody you trust. You can even reach out to us at Focus on Recovery Uganda.
Yes.
You can reach out to Shivan. Shivan can reach out to us. Just stop before you act. Think about it. There's always purpose.
Thank you so much for giving us your time this morning.
You're welcome.
Well, to the viewer out there that is watching us this morning, and you are going through a phase in your life where you feel that you are not valued, you feel that you are not loved enough, you feel that there is no meaning to life, and you have even decided and made up your mind that, what, enough is enough. You feel that the world would be a better place without you. I want to tell you this. There is a reason as to why you're in the world today. Every every single human being on this world has a reason and a role to play. I'm here to tell you that it is not the end of the world. I'm here to tell you that you're loved. I'm here to tell you that you're cherished. I'm here to tell you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And when you feel the urge to constantly end your life, seek for help. Seek for help from someone that you trust. Seek for help from your mentor. I don't know if you have a best friend, if you have someone that is close to you, if it is work that is bringing a toll on your mental health, seek for help. Take a break. Breathe in, breathe out, and ask yourself, if you did leave this world, how many people would be able to cope with the pain of losing you? If you ponder on that and you realize that you leave so many loved ones behind, then I would advise that you actually go out and seek help. And of course, like Albert said, you can actually reach out to him because he's a mental health advisor and he would be able to help you. However, you can also head on to my Twitter platform, and that is Shivan Auma 90. Let me know, inbox me, let me know, how are you feeling this morning? How do you feel? Do you feel the urge to end your life? Talk to me. I could be of help actually. Well, like I did say, we have an amazing show lined up for you. We take a quick breather, but when we do return, we still have interesting conversations this morning on Sunrise at Sea. And special thanks to Isad Cafe for allowing us to use their space. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea.